What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel, Body by Biggie. Today's video is going to be geared more specifically to the hockey players in the group. If you're a hockey player and you're looking for some off-ice drills that you can use to help you improve your skating stride, these drills that I'll present to you today are perfect. So I've been a strength and conditioning coach working with hockey players from youth to professional levels for the last 10 years. And regardless of level, some of the drills that I find extremely helpful for players of all ability are striding drills. And these striding drills really target the postures and the mechanics that you need to be able to use to have an effective hockey stride. The reason I find these so important is because athletes tend to work so hard on their strength, their power, their speed, but they miss kind of that carryover piece, the piece that will allow them to really translate that into effective on-ice performance. So these drills that I'm about to present to you can be done on their own as sort of a skill-based session, or they can be done as part of your daily warm-up. So with the athletes that I work with, these drills in some form or another are included almost every single day in the warm-ups that we do before our workouts. If you are a hockey player who's training at home or needs a little bit more support for their off-season, I'll talk about some of the other training options that I have at the end of today's video. So let's get to these striding drills. All right, welcome to my apartment. First up, we are going to practice the platform position. So the platform position is going to be the base position that we do all of our striding drills out of. With our platform position, we want to keep our chest and logo up. We want our shoulders over our knees, over our toes, and we want to keep pressure on the tongue of our skate. One of the things we want to avoid is this really extended or a really flexed spine position, which is so common with a lot of hockey players. We want to find a neutral spine where the back is flat and core engaged and keep this throughout our striding drills. This will really help to ensure we're using our hips and not our back to push through our stride and help prevent injury. Next up, we have platform position weight shifts. So in this drill, we're going to shift our weight to one side, bring the toe in so that we're balanced on one leg, and recover back. With this drill, it's really important that the shoulders and hips stay level and we stay loaded in the hip. What we don't want to see is the shoulders or the hips dip to one side. We also want to avoid coming out of our deep platform stance as we do this drill. This next drill is great for challenging your balance in a very sport-specific manner. As we know, you have to have your head on a swivel the entire time, and this drill really reinforces that. For this drill, you're going to set up in a nice, low, single leg platform position. Shoulders over knees and toes, pressure on the tongue of your skate. You're going to slowly rotate your chin towards one shoulder and then the other, moving your eyes with you as you go. If the single leg version is challenging for balance, try the kickstand. It really helps. All right, we're gonna get a little bit more dynamic. From a single leg platform, you're gonna push from your outer hip to drive your whole body over and across. We wanna focus on making this a movement of push and getting our shoulders all the way over top of our stance leg. What we don't wanna see is taking this really large step. I call this stepping outside of yourself, where your foot is beyond your base and you have to really struggle to recover. This long overstride requires a lot of groin work to recover, and that's not what we want. So here you'll see a great stride where my head, my shoulders, and my hips move straight across without bobbing up and down. Next up, we have diagonal strides. From a single leg platform position, we're going to focus on keeping our shoulders, core, and stance legs steady as we extend our opposite leg out and back. So from the side, you can see shoulders stay over knees and toes, pressure on the tongue of the skate, and we're getting full leg and hip extension on the opposite side. Each stride should finish with that full extension, glute tight, toe down. Now, what we don't want to see is that as you extend back, we lose the pressure on the tongue of the skate. So that vertical shin is not what we want. Okay, again, you'll see that as I extend back, I'm putting too much pressure on my back foot and shifting my weight. Finally, we also want to make sure that we're not arching as we do this. So that extended position in our stride, again, is not what we want. We want to keep that core nice and steady, shoulders rooted the whole time. Next up, we have a single leg platform to a single leg squat. As we move vertically or up and down, we want to keep the hips and the shoulders level. A great cue for this is that to imagine the waistband of your pants needs to stay level the entire time. From the side, you'll see that I load my weight and keep my core steady the whole time. So I'm not arching my back and using my shoulders to lift, but rather pushing through the ground using my glutes and my quads. So we don't want to arch and kind of lead with the shoulders as you see here. Again, we want to keep the core steady, push through the ground to bring ourselves tall. Our striding drills now start with our lateral strides. For this, we're loading that outside hip using aggressive arm action and driving our body across as one unit. In this demo, I'm loading my right leg, keeping my body low and level as I explode out, bringing my shoulders all the way over my left thigh. Now what we don't want is this rocking and rolling motion where our shoulders are kind of fighting the action of our stride. This is really counterproductive, wastes a lot of energy, and can lead to injuries. Next up, we have diagonal striding. In this drill, we're going to drive our body out and across over top of our new stance leg. With each stride, we want to hit that full long hip extension, but still keep the pressure on the tongue of our skate in that front leg. We want to make sure to avoid overstriding or taking a large step or failing to achieve full hip extension, so keeping that back leg bent. It's really common to see when we reverse stride that we shift too much weight to the back leg and again fail to keep the pressure on the tongue of our skate. Don't do this. All right, you made it to our last drill, crossover striding. Now I'm pointing here to show you the importance of your angles. Throughout this entire drill, we're going to keep a positive angle, which means we're leaning our entire body in the direction of travel. Even as I cross over, you can see my shoulders are still heading in the direction of travel. This allows me to explode into my next stride efficiently. What we don't want to see is the broken body position. This even looks bad. When the shoulders move away from the direction of travel in the crossover stride, it means we then have to throw our chest to move into the lateral stride. Really inefficient. From the side, you can see I'm keeping my hip loaded and my back flat, as opposed to this. Keep the hip out so you can use the glute to drive out. Finally, we want to avoid stepping out in front of ourselves too far. This is not effective. Instead, we want to lift the boot and come right over top of the toe of our other foot. This will let us have a more efficient stride. Don't forget to finish your undercut with that inside leg. So I hope you got a lot out of those striding drills. Again, I think they're really great to incorporate into either your warm-ups or to do a few times a week as a standalone, more skill-based session. If you are a hockey player who needs more assistance with either their at-home or their off-season programming, I can absolutely help you out with that. I'm currently running a program called Hockey at Home during the quarantine period. That program is absolutely free, and please feel free to check the description box below for more information about how to get in touch with me on that. I do have some free resources available on my YouTube channel, so lots of stretching and core videos. I also provide great off-season programming through my online training app, and again, I'll link more information below on that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next time on Body by Biggie.